Yeah, this one.
Well, welcome back, hockey fans, to the Hornets Hockey Network. My name is Rob Finger, alongside Michael Haungs, and we're here at the MACC for tonight's sectional matchup between your FM Hornets and the Cazenovia Lakers. Boy, oh boy, Mike. This one is a very important one here for FM, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. The number 4 Hornets coming to the home arena versus the number 5 Lakers. It's going to be a very close matchup. I've got a lot of different feelings about it. Things they could go anyway for either team tonight. It's just who's going to start off strong and finish that way as well.
Yes, of course. Both of these teams earlier in the year, I believe it was at the Morrisville Iceplex, the home of the Cazenovia Lakers, that both of these teams tied, and I was told by head coach Jim Wisnowski that it was originally an FM lead of 3-1, but unfortunately late in the game, the Cazenovia Lakers were able to make a bit of a comeback and come back to tie it at, I believe it was either 3 or 4 apiece.
Yeah, it was 4-4, and that was one of Cazenovia's 5 ties they've had this season.
Ooh, so it's very much a similar story to how the FM Hornets were the other year, where they were tying left and right, tying all different teams. I believe it was either a year or 2 ago that they set the record for the most ties in the section that year. But nonetheless, we come to round 1 of the sectional tournament, and of course, we have to go over the implications of this game right here. So in the tournament itself, thankfully, the FM Hornets both got a bye from the first round and were able to get a home seeding. With their 4th, that put them at a home game right here. If they had been 5th, we would be playing in Morrisville tonight, but nonetheless, they were just able to beat out the Cazenovia Lakers in the standings. So we start here at the MACC, and whoever wins this game will go on to play the winner of West Genesee versus Baldwinsville.
They played earlier today, Robbie.
Did they?
Yes, West Genesee beat the Baldwinsville Bees 5-2 at 12 in Shove Park.
Ooh.
So it was a closer game than it should have been, according to some fans from FM who also went to that game. But that's a very interesting score, 5-2 versus the Baldwinsville Bees. So whoever wins this game will play West Genesee at Shove Park.
And they will be playing in the belly of the beast. Of course, a year ago, last season, the FM Hornets went into Shove Park and had a 3-1. It was either 3-1 or 3-0 lead before the West Genesee Wildcats were able to come back and then win it in overtime at Shove Park. But nonetheless, this one is very important just because of the woes that FM has dealt with in the past few years in terms of the sectional tournament. Last year, it was a fall with the last 10 seconds to those very Baldwinsville Bees that were eliminated from the sectional tournament just earlier today. They fell 2-1 in overtime to that team that was able to tie them in the last 10 seconds. And then the year before that, it was the Shock at the Coliseum, Liverpool, in their final year of contention before becoming the CNY Fusion and then, obviously, CNS Liverpool. They were able to beat these FM Hornets in a shocker at, once again, the Coliseum, the final sectional game that, in fact, was played at the Toyota Coliseum back on the New York State Fairgrounds. So it's been a couple years of sectional issues for the FM Hornets. But, Mike, are they ready to exercise their demons here? What do you think?
They look pretty locked in today in the weight room. So I think this is an important game to play, and I think they know that if they do get the win today, they're going to have to play really hard versus West Genesee. Obviously, they suffered a loss to them on December 17th, earlier 2024, this season, 7-1 on the other rink here at the MACC. So they know that this game is always very important, the first game, to get past that, and then West Genesee is going to be an even tougher battle, and they know that coming into this game.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we will let the loudspeaker take over as we get our starting lineups here from the MACC and our national anthems.
For tonight's Section 3 Division I sectional players have chosen to wear his number 16 on the left side of their helmets in place of our logo this season. Thank you. And now for tonight's lineups. First, the visiting Lakers. At forward, a junior number 14, Henry Miller. At forward, a senior number 2, Seamus Newcomb. And at forward, a freshman number 5, Henry Frazee. On defense, a junior number 10, Cole Frazee. On defense, a junior number 4, Ben Hagan. And in goal, a junior number 31, Ezra Stolberg. And now for your Fayetteville-Manlius Hornets. At forward, a senior number 15, Noah Chen. At forward, a junior number 19, Grayson Lucha. And at forward, a senior number 24, Dimitri Sergey. On defense, a senior number 14, Brian Unkovic. And on defense, a sophomore number 23, Tyler Mann. In goal, a junior, Sean LaMarche. We now ask for those people and willing to food drives for the playing of tonight's national.
And with that, another exciting edition of Hornets hockey will commence here at Cicero. And for those of you who didn't hear, I will relay to you tonight's starting lineup. Starting for the visiting Cazenovia Lakers, at forward number 2, Seamus Newcomb. At forward number 5, Henry Frazee. Also at forward number 14, Henry Miller. At defense, number 4, Finn Hagan. Number 10, Cole Frazee. And in goal, number 31, Ezra Stolberg. And on the side of your FM Hornets, starting at forward, number 15, Noah Chen. At forward, number 19, Grayson Rucha. At forward, number 24, Dimitri Sergeev. At defense, number 14, Brian Tankovic. At defense, number 23, Tyler Main. And in goal, number 30, Sean LaMarche. As we get things started here from the MACC, as Brian Tankovic will grab that, sending it all the way around into the Cazenovia end. Putting on some good pressure there is Grayson Mucha. Just trying to get it out of the zone are the Lakers. Cazenovia grabbing it. Finn Hagan sending it over to the far side. Picking it up, though, is Dimitri Sergeev. Turning back the other way off the boards. It'll go and back into the Cazenovia end. Hagan again. Up the near side this time. Up for Henry Frazee. He tried to get it up for Miller. Miller now up for Seamus Newcomb in alone. Shot save made by Sean LaMarche, but at the cost of a penalty being called on the FM Hornets.
That's going to be on Tonkovic. It was a good play. Put his body on the line, but it's going to be a tripping penalty there on number 14, Brian Tonkovic for the Hornets. And they're starting off already, Robbie, in the first minute with a man down.
Well, some would say that on an occasion like that, or in a situation like that, that would be worth it if you're Brian Tonkovic. But I'm not sure what's going through the head of head coach Jim Wisnowski there on the other side, especially this early into a game with a team that is this close in the level to the Hornets. 2 minutes up on the board, face off to the right of Sean LaMarche. Jack Lalick trying to win that back. Instead, it gets one to the boards. Grabbing that, Cole Frazee trying to keep it in. Oh, and that's a high stick as decreed by the left referee. And I believe that will go long out of the zone here. And that will indeed go all the way into the Cazenovia end. So 6:15 left to go in this first period already, and we have our first penalty on the board. But like I said, may be worth it. Jack Casey getting it off the face-off here, having to hide us a little bit behind the net of Ezra Stahlberg. He's putting on some pressure is Henry Dougherty. Up the far side it goes. Well, right back behind the skates of Henry Frazee. He's having to give it back to Jack Casey. Here comes Miller on the near side in the Hornets end. Henry Miller shot kicked away by Sean LaMarche. Here comes Michael Leduc up the far side, able to chip it out. Here comes FM into the zone. He's got Dougherty, sends it across, but it goes past him. Here comes Cazenovia the other way. Little fire wagon hockey here. Henry Miller into the zone. Stops right at the goal line, sends it right back to Jack Casey. He puts it in the far corner. Seamus Newcomb coming up the boards, looking over what he has in front of him. Lots of options. Henry Frazee getting it back to Seamus Newcomb. A shot will go wide of the net. Miller in the near corner, coming around the net of LaMarche. He hands it back to Seamus Newcomb. Newcomb for Jack Casey. Casey back to Newcomb at the top. Newcomb, shot, scores! Off the stick of Finn Hagen, right in front of the net of Sean LaMarche.
Wow. There's nothing you can do about that. That's, you should be able to try to get a stick or a pad if you're LaMarche on that, but this will a good goal from Cazenovia to take advantage of the power play opportunity.
And unfortunately, I wouldn't even call that necessarily Sean LaMarche's fault. That is the product of being down a man. You're not able to afford somebody to get that man out of the face of Sean LaMarche. And as a result, he's able to tip it back down between his legs.
That's Finn Hagen's third goal, Robbie.
Absolutely. Finn Hagen, known to be one of the more scoring members of these Cazenovia Lakers, who have really surprised, especially in the past few years, have really punched above their weight in Section 3 hockey. Getting it back the other way. FM, getting a little bit tripped up there by number 12, Dylan George. Getting it right back towards Tyler Main. He walks in, shot, goes over the net. Nico Capriati up the boards, it'll go to Tonkovic. Tonkovic keeping it in. Having to work with Capriati, he gets it down to Connor McDonald. McDonald around the net. Looking over his options, sends it right across the net of Stahlberg. It'll go over Will Sanzone. Sanzone, off the boards he goes. Hands it right to Capriati. Quick shot, score! There's Nico Capriati!
Wow, what an answer if you're the Hornets. A goal quickly for Capriati. That is, wow, what a goal. That's his 9th goal, and he also has 10 assists on the season.
Right on in close on Ezra Stahlberg. And just like that, it's a new game again, just 3 minutes into this first period. Putting that back in the Hornets. Getting that, Michael Leduc trying to get it up those far boards. Instead, it's getting to Seamus Newcomb. Right at the red line, squirts across that red line, and instead into the hands of Oliver Smith. He'll dump it in. Into the zone, just into the zone it goes. Seamus Newcomb trying to get a handle on it. He falls over backwards. Instead, it's I believe that's Henry Doherty putting on some pressure. Cazenovia up the near boards now. Trying to go over to the far side this time again. Seamus Newcomb with it again. Doherty trying to give him a little bit of a shoulder there, but unfortunately to no avail. Sends it up. Doherty again. Gets sent right past him. Fu-Mei instead will backhand that into the zone as he and his forwards go to change. Patno getting a big hit there. Instead it'll go to Vinny DiNatale. Noah Chen sitting back up those near boards. All the way down to Jack Casey. Oh, getting some pressure there. Here comes Dmitry Sergeev, tried to put a shot on, but did not have much mustard on it. In the near corner it'll go. Grayson Mucha and Sergeev putting on the pressure. Dmitry Sergeev tried to come out with it there. Instead, it's still on the boards. Kicked up instead to Will Leinbach. Up and out of the zone. Brian Tonkovich will send it back in. Chen and Patnode will go to change. Jack Casey coming around the net. Oh, gets a little tripped up there, and we will have another penalty on these FM Hornets.
Let's see what that call was. It looks like...
I believe that will be Dmitry Sergeev.
Yeah.
The man standing next to the box is anything to go by.
2 penalties early for you're not gonna like that if you're the Hornets. Obviously, Capriati able to respond to the first one, but now the second one that's gonna hurt you.
Absolutely, and the Hornets will have to kill off this one a lot better than they did the first time. But now they know Cazenovia's secret. They know they like to keep a man right in front of the goaltender. So hopefully they'll pay a little bit more attention to that this time around. Back to Jack Casey. Casey will send it in below the goal line towards Finn Hagen. Hagen now up the far boards. Gets it to Miller. Oh, poked away. Here comes Henry Doherty. He's got space in the zone. Oh, Jack Casey pokes it away. Henry Doherty, though, still putting on some forechecking pressure there. He's having a back check, though, however, the other way. Frazee over to Miller. Miller in the zone. Looking over his options as he comes around the near side. Miller back to Casey at the blue line. Jack Casey over across. His shot goes wide. Miller again. Back to Casey. Back to Miller at the hash marks. Miller all the way across. Sends it right in. Save made. And rebound is controlled by the Hornets.
Once again by Doherty.
Sending it all the way down is Henry Doherty. And beating out the icing is Jack Lalick. Lalick in the near corner. Under pressure from the Cazenovia Lakers. They're able to steal it away as Jack Lalick goes to get a change. Cazenovia coming up the near side with it. Seamus Newcomb in the zone. Under pressure, though, from Noah Chen. He's able to knock him off the puck, and the Hornets get it out of the zone. 45 seconds remain. Cole Frazee over for Miller again. Henry Miller, gets poked away by Noah Chen again, and he's put on the pressure. Jake Heitschuh this time. Over now for Finn Hagen. Hagen on the near side, coming into the zone. Ooh, stepped away from a hit from Brian Tonkovich, but nonetheless, the Hornets are able to get it away from him and get it back down the other way.
Only a few more chances for Cazenovia now, Robbie.
Especially on this power play. That's coming back the other way with speed. Jake Heitschuh in the zone. Shot. Gets just tipped away, I believe, by the stick of Michael Leduc as he was coming in. Over to the near side now. Didn't pass it as Gavin Patnode is. Here come the Hornets the other way. Gavin Patnode in the zone. Below the goal line he'll go. Sends it right towards the center. Right into the skates of Jake Heitschuh. And trying to reverse it the other way is Connor McDonald with Nico Capriati's help. Capriati able to keep it in. Sends it back below the goal line. Grabbing that. Oliver Smith reversing it. Back up those boards. Capriati, though, again, stopping them at the hash marks. Back up past Will Sanzone there. Able to beat out the icing there is Dylan George. Sending it all the way across. Michael Leduc. Couple touch passes there, but intercepted by the Lakers. They'll send it right back in. Leduc again. Tries the other side. Capriati tried to chip it there for Will Sanzone. Instead, it goes back to Frazee. He tried to get it to Miller in front of the net. Hornets send it out. Finn Hagen, though, sending it right into the Hornets bench. And we'll get another stoppage of play with 9:35 left to go in period number 1.
So a good job for the Hornets on with this man down play. 2 minutes they were able to kill off there, unlike the first time. It was a lot more fast-paced, and the Cazenovia never was able to establish their offense like they did in the first one.
Center ice face-off. Fu-Mei comes away with it into the zone, back below the goal line. Tries to get up the near boards. Has to focus a little bit on the man who's pressuring him. As here comes Cazenovia the other way. Seamus Newcomb all the way down for Brian Tonkovich. Off the near boards it'll go right into the hands of Henry Miller. In shot goes wide. All the way around and up those far boards. And Cazenovia will have to regroup on their own end. Henry Dougherty and Drew Main. A little 2-on-2 here for the Hornets as Cazenovia sends it all the way back down. As Tucker Ives, right in on Sean LaMarche. Boy, oh boy.
Man, I was with the players pregame and their warm-up routine, and also in the locker room. Got a in-depth chance with the team, and Capriati seemed the loosest and most lively, and there you go. He's the first goal for the Hornets.
Oh, absolutely. It's a good thing that they can have some energy as well as Connor McDonald hitting it up now for Will Sanzone. Sanzone in the zone, sends it across. Capriati's not able to pick it up. Cazenovia now setting it all the way down into the Hornets, and they will call off the icing. As grabbing that is Henry Dougherty. No, that is, oh my goodness.
Tyler Main,
thank you. Capriati, though, shot goes over the net. Capriati, of course, unmistakable. Sent right back in. Jack Casey out of the zone. Tyler Main over to Brian Tonkovich. Tonkovich off those near boards. Sent all the way down into the Hornets end here. Tyler Main calming it down. He's got Brian Tonkovich and Grayson Mucha. Instead, he'll get it up to Connor McDonald. He gets it over to Noah Chen. Chen looking for another outlet right into Mucha, driving towards the net of Stahlberg. Oh, but it gets blocked away. Stahlberg having to dive for it, and he will dive and cover that one up as a few pushing and shoving right in front of Ezra Stahlberg there.
Yeah, it looked like that was Mucha for the Hornets, and so I think maybe
that was Heitschu and I think Jack Frazee as well for Cazenovia.
A good thing to see, Robbie, is the Hornets student section is expanding about every 30 seconds. They're spilling over into, the regular sections too, and they're starting to have to go down past these, the end of the goal.
Well, it's a thing that, like I said in one of the earlier times I was here this season, it's something that you haven't seen in quite a few years. The amount of seniors that this FM Hornets team has lends greatly to the amount of seniors that come out to support these FM Hornets games here. And if they can show them a bit of a show here, perhaps they will come back even more. Brian Tonkovich sending it all the way off the boards, out of the zone it'll go. Neutral zone ice now. Miller up the boards. Henry Dougherty is able to forward it up. He sends it back below the goal line. Finn Hagen, though, sending it past him to Henry Miller. Henry Miller, though, sending it right into the stick of Henry Dougherty, who still fights in that near corner. Lalick sends it across, but right into the hands of Cazenovia. They'll send it all the way back around for Seamus Newcomb. Newcomb coming in the zone here. Sends it right into the Hornets end. Was getting that back is FM. Tyler Main trying to chip it up there was Lalick, but here comes Miller. Shot save made by Sean LaMarche with 6:53 left to go in the first, and still a few hands being pushed around in front of either net here.
Yeah, it's getting a bit chippy here. There's a lot to play for. Tensions are rising. It's a sectional game, and nothing's too serious yet. Just some friendly pushing and shoving, but we'll see how it gets if it gets too chippy at the end of the game here.
Well, like it or not, this one is a win or go home. And of course, the Hornets would like to win it more than anything on their home ice. Gavin Patnode coming around. Oh, Di Natalia, though, trying to get it away from him. Instead, it goes into the hands. Oh, Di Natalia, though, pushing it forward. We've got a penalty. Oh, off the iron it goes. And Ives goes into the goal.
Wow, that was just a mess of a play. The puck hit the crossbar at one point. I didn't know if you saw that, but hit the post of the crossbar, and things are escalating here as there's a lot of bodies in front of the goal.
Gavin Patno going to the box for the FM Hornets. And again, the third penalty of the game, fourth penalty now, as Will Sanzone goes in to join him.
Is this going to be a penalty or misconduct or a little bit of both? Or let's see. Let's see what pops up on the board.
It very well may be a 2 and 10. I'm guessing on Gavin Patno as he was the first one sent into the box.
Yeah.
That'll be 2 minutes served
Sanzone.
by Will Sanzone, as put up on the board anyway.
Yeah.
And another 2 minutes instead for Gavin Patno. So this is a well and true 5-on-3.
Wow, Hornets are going to have to stay strong here.
And this student section that has accumulated in front of us here is really going to have to keep the noise going, especially on a big penalty kill like this. Sent across for Jack Casey there. As Grayson Mooch is going to have to be pretty disciplined here to not get sucked in too much to either side here. Tries to get a hit on Seamus Newcomb there, but that sends it right towards the side. Jack Casey's shot saved
What a
in the
save.
blocker of Sean Lamarche. Back up to the top. Miller across for Newcomb, walking in, sends it across, but it's off the skate of Finn Hagen. Sending it right back in is Casey. Hagen back up the boards, it'll go, and out of the zone. All the way down it'll go. Stahlberg handing it to Casey. He
108.
hands it to Miller. Miller coming into the zone with some speed, but that is offsides as Finn Hagen was just a step too far in, and he took a little bit of offense to that with the linesman here.
Yeah, we're going to come back into the neutral zone. 104 left on the penalties. Hornets so far doing a good job. They've gotten a couple of good opportunities, but nothing too close and too scary yet for Lamarche.
Well, he's had to make a couple saves, 1 or 2 so far this penalty kill as Miller comes in the other way. Miller for Casey. Casey across from Newcomb, back to Casey. Jack Casey for Miller on the near side. Miller to Casey. Shot! Turned away by a block.
Good job by Tyler Main staying disciplined on that one.
Miller on the near side. Miller circling back, gives it to Casey. Casey for Newcomb. Shot! Redirected by Hagen wide of the net.
30.
Newcomb on the far side. Hands it to Casey. They encroach ever closer. Jack Casey. Shot! Blocked away by Sean Lamarche.
20.
Now Newcomb. Newcomb across into the skates of Jack Lalick. Sends it right for Frazee. Circles back. Shots made by Sean Lamarche.
What a save there for Sean Lamarche. Some pressure on him in that last minute, and there's only 12 more seconds on the penalties on Patno and Sanzone. So let's see if the Hornets can stay strong and win this 5-on-3 matchup.
Henry Frazee with what an opportunity he had right in front of Sean Lamarche. But Lamarche just able to turn it back. It's coming back the other way. Cole Frazee now. Gets it over for Smith. Grabbing that though is Brian Tonkovich, sending it all the way down and out of the zone. We are even strength. The Hornets have killed off a 2-minute 5-on-3. Here comes Cazenovia though. They've got a 2-on-1. Sent it cross, but not grabbing that is Joey Di Natale. Over to the far side. Frazee keeping it in. Sending it all the way back around for Michael Leduc, who sends it up the boards. Capriotti back off those boards for Sanzone. He gets it to Leduc. Trying to get it through middle there, but Miller intercepts. Here comes Haichu. Jake Haichu shot, blocked away. The rebound will go right into the hands of Nick Sergeev, sending it all the way around the near side. Smith though, almost lost that. Instead it's Nick Sergeev sending it out. Frazee coming back. Henry Frazee. It leaves it instead for Miller. Now for Oliver Smith. Driving shot. Turned away by the stick of Lamarche into the far corner. Seamus Newcomb though operating that. Hands it to Jack Casey. Shot off the skate. I believe that was of Connor McDonald. Michael Leduc trying to get it out as well as he can, and he does get it out of the zone. But Miller though will put that right back in. Nick Sergeev this time. Tried to hand it to Jack Lalick. Instead, it's Cazenovia. Here they come back into the zone. Casey from Newcomb. Newcomb, Casey shot goes wide. Vinny DiNatale getting it below the goal line for Ledoux. He gives it instead to Nick Sergeev. Sergeev for Lalick. Lalick lets it go past him there as it goes back into the zone, courtesy of Jack Casey. Nick Sergeev, gets it stolen away by DiNatale, sent right to the center, but instead it's Jack Lalick picking it up. Here comes Drew Main into the zone. Tried to get it around number 16, Jack Frazee there, but instead it'll be Doherty sending it right back in for Lalick. Lalick in the near corner, below the goal line. Tried to get it up for for Drew Main, I should say, as it goes back into the zone. Sent right in. Here comes Seamus Newcomb. Swiping it away is Tyler May.
What a play there by the sophomore.
Echoes of his play in Cortland a few years ago. As boy, oh boy, here come the Lakers. Here come the Hornets. Oswego hockey's gotten me so screwed up with green jerseys, my friend. Trust me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Here come the Hornets, right on inch. Turned away. Dmitry Sergeev just trying his best. Here they come the other way. Drew Main making a couple moves, trying to hand it to Dmitry Sergeev. But up the boards come the Cazenovia Lakers.
Still in their own end, though.
And Hagen sent right on into Brian Tonkovich. He'll send it over to the far side for Dmitry Sergeev. Backhands it into the zone. He'll go for a change. Trying to pickpocket that was Grayson Mucha. Instead, it's Noah Chen. Turned away by the glove of Ezra Stahlberg.
Close. Very close there.
Absolutely. As it going out of the zone goes that puck. And sent right back in by, I believe that was Connor McDonald. Cazenovia sending it to the far side. Tyler Main. Now for Brian Tonkovich. Up to Grayson Mucha. Pass there. Grayson Mucha sent right back up in for Cazenovia as back into the zone it'll go. Less than a minute to go in the first period. Brian Tonkovich getting a big hit put on him as Seamus Newcomb steals it away. Newcomb now down towards Miller. Miller back towards Newcomb, but instead it's to Noah Chen, and out of the zone it'll go. Chen will change, and so will Mucha and Main. Connor McDonald able to steal it away in the offensive zone here. Back up those boards, he'll try to get it, but out of the zone it'll go right into the hands of Michael Ledoux. Sent back into the zone. Cazenovia breaking it out. Past Frazee. And it'll go instead to Ledoux again. Ledoux up for Nico Capriati. Off the boards it'll go. 6 seconds left. Ledoux trying to get it there. Newcomb sending it in. And that'll do it for period number 1 here from the Twin Rinks of the MACC. The score after the first period of play, 1 for the Hornets, 1 for the Cazenovia Lakers as well here, Mike.
Although the board shows even, I would almost argue that the Lakers are having a better offensive stretch. Just they've had this puck in the zone of the Hornets more often, and I think a fresh period start for the Hornets, obviously they do best in the second period, is really going to help them, and hopefully they can turn this game over to themselves and have more offensive aggression.
Absolutely. As we take a look at the shot column as well, 13 for the Cazenovia Lakers, like you said, putting on all the offense that they can muster. But only 3 registered so far for the FM Hornets. Of course, though, one of those was the goal from Nico Capriati. Don't go away, ladies and gentlemen. In just a bit, we will have second period of action. You're watching FM Hornets hockey here on the Hornets Hockey Network. We'll be back just after this. Welcome back, hockey fans, to the Hornets Hockey Network. My name is Rob Finger, alongside Mike Haungs, and we're back at the MACC for period 2 action between your FM Hornets and the Cazenovia Lakers. The score after 1-1. The second period started. Brian Tonkovich getting off those far boards, and so does Noah Chen, sending it right in. Goes back to Tyler Mann, though. He'll send it right back in after Cazenovia got it out momentarily. Off the boards it'll go. Up the boards right into the hands of Tyler Mann. He's thankfully just able to keep it in. Send it right back below the goal line, though. Noah Chen getting it off those far boards. Into the corner. Now up the boards it'll go. Grayson Mucha. Okay, up Tyler Mann keeping it in the zone. Sends all the way across. Michael LeDuc is not able to pick it up. Here comes Seamus Newcomb. Newcomb into the zone. Sends over to the near side. Newcomb, almost got it taken away by Tyler Mann, and he does on the second try. Sending it all the way down. Grabbing that. Cole Frazee. Around it goes. Back instead to Finn Hagen. Hagen getting it through the legs there for just a moment was Jake Heichu as it goes into the neutral zone. Brian Tonkovich back off the near boards, just in the zone. Tonkovich having to send it back in another time. Below the goal line it'll go. Jack Lalick able to steal it away from the other four on the ice. Finn Hagen as it goes right in for Henry Doherty. He's not able to get offense going with it. Drew Main, though, instead will try. Frazee, though, handing it to Miller. Miller, as Cazenovia steals it away from the Hornets here, operating it below the goal line, sends it right out and up into the stick of Tyler Mann, and he's able to keep it in the zone. Henry Doherty reversing it towards the net. It hops over towards the far boards. Brian Tonkovich still sending his shot. It goes wide. Around for Tyler Mann. Sent around below the goal line. His brother Drew lets it go. Sent all the way down by Cole Frazee, all the way down the river for an icing.
This is the Hornets offense, I know, Robbie. You know, they were having a defensive battle, and they were on defense most of the first period, but now they're coming out hot, and they've taken a lot of shots, you know, some far-fetched, but a lot of action on the Lakers' end to start the second period.
Absolutely. Winning that back on the Hornets. Quick shot right into the body of Tucker Ives, I believe that was. As here comes Cazenovia the other way. Will Leinbach send a shot right into the chest of Sean LaMarche.
Yeah, right away, Cazenovia coming the other way after I said that.
Well, yes, commentator's curse is a real thing, my friend. I have encountered it many times in my years here on the Hornets Hockey Network. Face off one back by the Hornets, just trying to get it out of the zone here, and they do. Will Sanzone coming up the board, sent all the way across to Nico Capriati. Capriati trying to get it through a couple Laker legs there, but instead it'll go back into the neutral zone. Reversing that is Jack Schalk. Off the boards it'll go right down into the zone. Gavin Patnode sent up the near side, right into the hands of Myers as he goes back into the Hornets end here. Sanzone, though, handing it to Capriati, trying to get it through Jack Casey's legs, but unfortunately he's not able to. As put some pressure on Jake Heichu there. As Casey gets it back, he hands it over for Elijah Myers here on the near side. Myers, though, back towards Casey, hops over his stick, and Jack Schock will try to reverse it there. Jack Casey, though, with a shot. It gets covered up by Sean LaMarche in the Hornets end.
Yeah, so some back and forth there. You know, some play in the Cazenovia end, some play in the Hornets end. We're leaning more towards LaMarche here as we're going to have a face-off on the left side of him. But I think once these offenses slow down and get going, that's when we're going to see good plays develop.
Absolutely. And the number one mission for the Hornets in this period, especially after the last one, is to stay a little bit more clean. Stay out of the box. They had 4 penalties just in that first period, one of which was the cause of the only other goal on the board other than theirs.
And none on Cazenovia as well.
Absolutely. Miller back towards Hagen on the near side. Mucha is trying to pick it up. Oh, he lost it as it got reversed back right towards the boards behind him. As it'll go over to the far side. Oh, right towards Frazee, but instead it's Tyler Mann taking it away. Into the zone it'll go. Finn Hagen, though, will carry it. Hagen off the far boards. Up for Cazenovia. Mucha tried to steal it away. It'll go to the neutral zone. Sending right back in is Brian Tonkovich. Frazee getting it to Miller. Miller in the zone. Poked away by the defense of the Hornets. As here they come the other way. Drew Main up the near boards with speed into the Lakers' end. Sending it over to the far side for Doherty. Doherty for Drew Main. Main looking over his options right towards the front. Backhander goes wide. Oliver Smith out of the zone. It'll go right into the hands of Tyler Main, though. He will take it back in himself. Sends a quick shot on. It goes wide. Jack Lalick, though, will pick it up on the far side. Henry Doherty trying to stop it before it goes out of the zone. Meanwhile, Henry Miller taking it out. Henry Miller into the Hornets' end here. Sends it across for Ives, but he's not able to pick it up with a skate. So whacking that out are the Hornets. Frazee sending it back off those near boards. Linebach is the one who picks it up. Benny DiNatale now. Into the zone they come. DiNatale right across. It'll go to the near boards. Looking to pick it up off a board battle here. The Hornets, and that was Henry Doherty at the middle of it. Sent back into the zone. Tyler Main with some space here. Long all the way down. He tried to send it on Ezra Stahlberg, but just a little bit wide. Only about 2 feet.
Pretty fast-paced hockey so far here, Robbie. I mean, you're going to have to keep talking pretty fast there, making your job harder for sure.
Well, having almost an entire regular season's worth of collegiate hockey under your belt now does kind of help with speed, I will say, especially as been doing both D3 men's and women's hockey, of which the sister of Grayson Mucha actually plays for the women's team. Her, of course, Tessa Mucha. As a fun fact for them, they're actually just became the most dominant Oswego Lakers women's hockey team of all their time. As here comes Sansom in the zone. Scott is Will Sansom.
Wow, what a goal from Will Sansom. You know, it was a great defensive, or like, I guess, offensive takeaway there. You know, just caught us by surprise here up here at the booth. And he's able to just walk it in just to the left of Stahlberg. And that's going to be just 1-goal lead now for the Hornets in the second period. So now they're starting strong.
Will Sansom putting us up by 1, the first lead of the day for the FM Hornets. Right as I was trying to talk about one of the Hornets' relatives there, but nonetheless, I am very glad to be interrupted by a goal.
That is Will Sansom's 12th goal and 19th point this season.
Frazee sent right across for Smith. He'll dump it in. Grabbing that though is Brian Tonkovich. Off the glass it'll go. Trying to keep it in is Miller, and he does. Henry Miller's shot gets turned away by a block. I believe that was from his own man, Seamus Newcomb. Dmitry Sergeev pops it out off the boards. Up it'll go for Noah Chen. Here come the Hornets into the zone. Chen looking for an outlet. Oh, he can't find one in time. Hagen pokes it away. Is able to get it past Grayson Mucha. Here comes Henry Miller. Up now for number 5, Henry Frazee. Shot blocked away. I believe that was the stick, if my ears didn't deceive me, of Sean LaMarche.
Yeah, he's able to redirect that one back into the net behind him. And going back to that Will Sansom going, you know, hockey's not easy, but that goal, he made that one look easy. He just kind of walked it right past Stahlberg to give that Hornets 2-1 lead.
Ezra Stahlberg certainly has always been a fairly stout, fairly solid goalie for the Cazenovia Lakers over these past few years, but goals like that where it's right in front of you, and of course dekes the shorts out for you, those aren't exactly the easiest goals to save.
Absolutely.
Jack Lally right. Henry Doherty almost did it again. As here comes Kevin Pano trying to get through Tucker Ives anyway, which is not an easy thing to do. Tucker Ives, a teammate of my brother for many years. Jack Lally putting on a hit. He'll be called for that. What penalties do we have here? Because it was technically Cazenovia touching the puck.
Yeah, that's
I believe that'll be Jack Lally going to the box.
That's just awkward play, too.
Yeah, Jack Lally going to the box for 2 minutes for cross-checking, and now the Hornets being put on a little bit of a back foot here. Having to kill off yet another penalty.
5th.
Their fifth of the game, their first of the second period, so far at least. They've kept it fairly clean. Knock on wood anyway. Hopefully you can hear that.
And Robbie, Hornet Nation strong here and online. We've got 50 people tuning into the FM Varsity Ice Hockey Network and a lot of fans here present at the MACC.
Oh, absolutely. To witness it in person is, well, I'd say a better thing than anything I could ever hope to convey. Is coming in as the Lakers. A quick shot goes wide. High school hockey is certainly something to be seen in person. And this is just the best substitute we can come up with. Miller now back for Seamus Newcomb coming into the zone. Newcomb coming around, and speaking of Newcomb, an interesting prelude to this game was a game that happened on Sunday at the Utica University Nexus Center between the Syracuse Gnats and the Utica Junior Comets. Many players on this ice of which were present and playing in that game, namely Brian Tonkovich, I believe Will Sanzone, Seamus Newcomb. Many players on both sides of the ice here were playing either for the Syracuse Gnats or the Utica Junior Comets in what was the state qualifier for that level of the USPHL, I believe. And of course it was the Utica Junior Comets who won it. Here comes Henry Dougherty the other way. Dougherty looking over his options, sends it right across Stahlberg's stick, and he'll be able to poke that away. Henry Dougherty trying to circle it around. He's not able to circle around before it goes out of the zone. A little bit of a hooking there on Miller as here comes Haichu and Miller. A shot goes wide of the net. I believe that was blocked away instead by Sean Lamar. Should have go all the way down to the other goaltender here, Ezra Stahlberg. Finn Hagen. Hagen off the far boards, gets it around one, is not able to get it around the second, that being Brian Tonkovich. Sending it all the way down is Connor McDonald. Up the far boards it goes. Here's Smith in the neutral zone, into the Hornets end now. Smith with Brunt and Tonkovich there to keep him honest and keep him outside. He does that fairly successfully, but coming right in on the Lakers, as again Cazenovia able to possess it in their own end. As we are even strength once again from that penalty just a few minutes ago. George sending it right back in. Brian Tonkovich a little bit running out of time there. He'll send it up for Connor McDonald, who dumps it into the zone. Frazee, Cole Frazee, right into the zone. Connor McDonald able to steal away after Nico Capriati got a shot in. Instead, it's Gavin Patno taking it in. Patno trying to get it towards the center. Instead, it's Capriati, got stuck with it below the goal line. It's Cole Frazee taking it out. Frazee, off the stick of Capriati. It's Nico Capriati who comes out with it. I can't, just went a foot wide of the net. Sent right back towards the center. No Hornet sticks can get on it. Oh, keeping it in though momentarily was Gavin Patno. As here comes Cazenovia the other way. Off the stick of Cole Frazee into the zone it'll go. Max Schock will be there to keep it in the Hornets' hands, right towards the center, though, denying the shot as well. Sanzone. Wow. What a defensive play by him. Even though it will go all the way down the river for an icing, what a play by Will Sanzone to deny the shot about just 7 feet in front of Sean LaMarche.
Yeah, what a second period here for Sanzone. He had obviously the first goal of the Hornets in the second period, their second goal overall, and then making some tough defensive stops and getting a lot of shots off offensively. So he's one of those, dual-tone players there that can do both sides when they need it.
Sanzone has been a stalwart of these FM Hornets for the past few years. As here comes Nico Noah Chen, I should say, the other end name.
Other 5.
The other 5 as well. N5, the only 1-5 though for Chen. Off the boards it'll go. Back to Noah Chen again as it goes backhanded off him into the hands of Tyler Main. Into the zone. Below the goal line it'll go. Ricocheting off the outside of the goal, and Cazenovia will send that all the way down for another icing with 6:12 now left to go in this second period of play.
Yeah, we've seen a little over 10 minutes of hockey in the second period. It's still been, very back and forth. No team has really established themselves as being a threat in this period. Obviously, it's a good goal from the Hornets early in the second period by Will Sanzone, but no passing around yet, and the penalty didn't kill the Hornets as they were able to fight that one off pretty easily.
Yes, very much still a period that is very much all to play for as Henry Dougherty grabbing that, sending it around to Jack Lalick. He's not able to control it, however. Lalick sends it right across for Dougherty. Sends it right in on Stahlberg. He's able to pad that away with ease. Haichu, long out of the zone, going all the way down for Dylan George. Coming out of his net is Sean LaMarche. Able to get it before Dylan George had a chance to put his stick on it.
That's a good play there by the goalie.
A very high risk, high reward situation. That one especially bit former goaltender Chris Finger in the rear a couple years ago in Skinny Atlas. But thankfully, Sean LaMarche able to make it work here at the MACC.
Goaltending's a hard possession, and Sean LaMarche is making it look easy today.
Jack Lalick is shot again. It's off the blocker this time of Stahlberg. In the nearest corner it goes. Below the goal line, Drew Main sent it right back in and shoots out the net.
Wow. That was a lot of puck movement around the crease and just on top of the net instead of on the other side of it.
And of course, believe it or not, that's the second time I've seen that in about a week.
Wow.
But only about the sixth time I've ever seen it in all my years of playing hockey. That is weird occurrences, but of course, whenever it does land on the top of the net, it is an immediate whistle.
Robbie Finger, an announcer and hockey player.
Oh yeah, for many, many years I was a veteran of about 8 or 9 years for the Valley Eagles, if you'll believe it. Coming around, shot goes wide. Grabbing that is Gavin Patno. Below the long cross for Henry Frazee. Grabbing that Max Shock. Shock into the zone. Setting it around. Off the board. It'll go from the stick of Will Sanzone as here they come again. Cazenovia dumping it in. Gavin Patno grabbing it below the goal, and he'll go behind the net of Sean LaMarche. Long across all the way past the skate of Connor McDonald. It will go on net, though, on Ezra Stahlberg. So expertly placed by him as Frazee is able to break it out. Here comes Leinbach. Leinbach on the near side. He'll hand it up instead to Vinny DiNatale. Send it right in on Sean LaMarche, and he will choose to cover.
So just under 4 minutes left to play, and the Hornets would love to get another one. Obviously, they're going to be content going into the locker room if they do have a 1-goal lead, but, they're still getting doubled in the shots column. They want to see more shots and more aggressive offense.
Absolutely. Face off now in the Hornets' end to the right of Sean LaMarche. One back by the Hornets. Tyler Main getting it long up the near boards. All the way down it'll go. Jack Casey grabbing that. Henry Dougherty, though, putting on the pressure. Trying to get it away from him, but instead Casey passes it out. Tucker Ives on the far side. Stolen by Jack Lalick, though. Oh, he's not able to control it. Up the boards, sent back in by Brian Tonkovich. Frazee, though. Jack Frazee, one of about 3 or 4 Frazees on the Cazenovia bench there as it goes all the way down for another icing. Yeah.
That's a lot of Frazees.
Yeah, 3 of them. Henry, Cole, and Jack Frazee.
We have a lot of sets of brothers and twins on this team.
Well, we've got a few mains.
Doherty's.
Sergeeves. Yes.
Max Stock, Jack Stock.
Yeah, that is very, very true. As winning that back in the Hornets. Jack Shock takes a shot and it goes wide. Down the boards it'll go. Drew Main will grab that. Henry Dougherty. Sent right around. Oh, trying to get it past Jake Haichu. But Haichu is able to steal it away. Here he comes into the Hornets' end now. Gavin Patno playing for his life there as it goes into the corner. Up the boards it'll go for Henry Dougherty. Here comes FM. The Hornets over Drew Main into the zone. Oh, but Henry Dougherty was a little bit too eager. Either that or Drew Main took a few extra steps in the neutral zone, but nonetheless, whoever's fault it was, that will be an offsides.
Yeah, it's going to slow down FM's momentum there that they had going, but I think the Hornets will be able to reestablish themselves in the last, 2:53 left to play in the second period.
Face off in front of the Hornets bench. Sent right back to the Hornets defenders here. Tyler Main stopping that, reversing it. Gets it right up for Brian Tonkovich. Right in his jersey, however. Brian Tonkovich. Long up. Oh, tried to get it to Capriati, but instead it's the Lakers who take it the other way. Cazenovia, Henry Miller, dropping that. Shot goes wide of the net. I believe that might have gone off the pad of Sean LaMarche, but nonetheless, it'll go over to the far side. Smith keeping it in. Oh, off the leg of Connor McDonald. Here he comes. He's got space. In alone. Shot. Sink. It's Stahlberg. Nico Capriati tried to follow that up with some help, but unfortunately he was two steps behind. Here comes Miller the other way. Miller into the zone with the other 14 on the ice. Shot scored. Henry Miller evens the score for Caz.
Man, McDonald was slow to get up off the ice on that play. Went right over to the bench, grabbing his wrist, and then when he saw that goal, slamming his stick into the boards. Just a very bad turn of events there for the Hornets, as McDonald almost gave the Hornets a 2-goal lead, and the Lakers able to tie it back up instead.
Well, with 1:58 left to go in this second period, this game, as I said before, is still all to play for. A 1-goal lead is not very much. As again, Henry Miller making that one a 2-goal game for Cazenovia. 2-2. He's our scorer now. Seamus Newcomb, shot, save made LaMarche. As it still, rebound is there. Newcomb trying to get it up to his D-man. He shoots it. It goes off the pad of LaMarche and behind his net. And now the Hornets playing a little bit possessed here. I was just making sure that something else does not happen again.
Yeah.
As of course, I can't really fault somebody like Connor McDonald, like you said earlier, as he went along to the bench, obviously a little bit shaken up by, of course, as Henry Miller gets credited with the goal here, as it gets right back to Sean LaMarche. He will cover that one up, but like I said, Connor McDonald not quite the one at fault for that, and neither as well was Brian Tonkovich, the man who got beat there, but
just not a good play from the Lakers.
Just a series of small, tiny mistakes that compounded into a goal for Cazenovia.
Hornets needs to get this one back.
Here comes Lalek across towards Drew Main, but unfortunately his stick not quite on the ice. Oh, and bowling him over is Henry Dougherty. Wow. Sent right in on Stahlberg. He will choose to cover for what seems like the first time in quite a while here that we'll have an offensive zone face-off in the Lakers' end.
Man, you know, the Hornets get a lot of late period goals, and with just over a minute in the second, I think there's a good chance the Hornets could bury one here. I don't want to, get my hopes up, but that would sure be good if you're a Hornets fan.
Well, there's an equal opportunity here as Frazee coming back the other way. Henry Frazee, that is. Over to the far side it goes. Here comes Lalek again, this time with Dougherty. Lalek across, it'll go to the far boards. Frazee sending it around to Jack Casey. 40 seconds remain. Up the boards for Seamus Newcomb. Newcomb sent right back behind the net as Cazenovia comes back around. Oh, stealing it away is Lalek again. Here comes Henry Dougherty. We've got a penalty on Caz. Dougherty, Jack Casey poking that away. We will get a penalty 2 for tripping.
And that's the first one. First one on the Lakers. Comes late in the second.
And a big opportunity now for the Hornets with 23 seconds left to go in the second. Finn Hagen going into the box. The first penalty of the game for the Cazenovia Lakers. And the first called penalty, I will say, though. As this game has not been the cleanest in the world.
This one's going to carry over into the third if the Hornets are unable to score.
Well, you said that they're fairly late period scorers. So they've got quite the crowd in front of them to cheer them on. We'll see what happens. 23 seconds in the second. Below the goal line it'll go. Jack Casey up the boards for Frazee. But keeping it in is Sanzone. Below the goal line. Oh, Jack Casey interfering on Will Sanzone, just trying to keep him away from that puck. As looking to freeze it as well as Frazee. Up the boards it goes. Noah Chen, 4 seconds. Trying to shoot it. It's Tung shot. Israel Stalwart gloves it up, as that'll do for the period. Oh, Nico Capriati getting involved now.
With Miller.
Oh, yeah. As it is still a tied game and a tight game at that.
Yeah, it's very, very tight, Robbie. What do you have to? What's your overall opinions on this period? I think that it was a very neutral period. Obviously, both teams scoring, and it was a lot of back and forth. It hasn't really gotten slowed down yet. What do you think?
I'd say that this was more even of a period than the first one. I'd say with this one as a judge, the first period was a little bit more dominated by the Hornets offensively anyway, or at least able to be offensive with more quality chances.
Yes.
This one was a lot more even on either side. The first half of it obviously went to the Hornets. They were able to score in the first half of this period, but then the back half, where just some mistakes compounded on top of each other, led to obviously Henry Miller getting an unassisted goal going the other way, beating both Brian Tonkovich and Sean Lamar. So that leaves us, after 2 periods of play, 2 for the home Hornets, 2 for the Cazenovia Lakers. Don't go away, ladies and gentlemen. We will have the 3rd period of action right here on the Hornets Hockey Network. Don't go away, anybody. We'll be back after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Hornets Hockey Network. My name is Rob Finger, alongside Michael Haungs, and we're here at the MACC for period 3 of hockey between your FM Hornets and the Cazenovia Lakers. The score, after 2 periods of play, 2 for the Hornets, 2 for the Lakers as well. But, Michael, the Hornets start with a little bit of advantage here.
Yeah, they do have a man-up advantage, as Cazenovia had a player go into the penalty box late. I forget who that was. Was that Crazy?
Finn Hagen.
Finn Hagen, okay. So he's going to be in the box to start. He's got a minute and a half left on his penalty. So let's see if the Hornets can get some early start advantage here with a man up.
Frazee grabbing that for Cazenovia in the Lakers end here, or in the Hornets end here, I should say. As Drew Main coming up the boards with it. Having it skate past Frazee. Jack Lalick forwarding it up with a stick. Lalick around to Patnode. Across for Tyler Main. Main to Patnode. Patnode down to Drew. Back up for Tyler. Patnode. Shot. Gloved up by Ezra Stahlberg with 55 seconds still left to go in that man advantage for the FM Hornets. Their first, of course, of the game. And another period as well, which I believe, thankfully, that second period for the Hornets was a little bit cleaner than the other ones. It was one penalty, two penalty. I believe. I thought it was the one, but thankfully a lot cleaner. They obviously would wish for that first penalty not to have ever happened.
Yeah, they had 4 in the first period, Robbie.
Yeah, 4 in the first period, thankfully only 1 in the second, but the third period, which if the pushing and shoving in front of both goaltenders has proven anything, may be a little bit more chippy as Cazenovia sends it all the way back down for Sean LaMarche. Grabbing that. Gavin Patnode. He's got some space, he's got some speed coming through the neutral zone. Cuts to the middle, leaves that for Sanzone. A shot goes wide. Patnode cycling it for Noah Chen. He gets it back up for Sanzone. No way! By Ezra Stahlberg. A big save made from him and a big time effort as we come back to even strength. Noah Chen coming back into the zone. Chen looking over his options, comes around, just trying to find some sort of open outlet. He cannot find one. As Connor McDonald instead will come up and help him out, sending it back below the goal line. Back around comes Sanzone. Sanzone tripped up, no call. Getting it back in. It's Connor McDonald, I believe, is coming back in to try to keep it in with Brian Tonkovich, but here comes Di Natale, that being Joey Di Natale. Tyler Main handing it over to Brian Tonkovich. Tonkovich long up for Sanzone. Sanzone through the middle. Here he comes. He's able to get through the defenders, but not with the puck. He'll chase it to the boards. Sanzone back towards Capriotti, but right into the hands of the Lakers. Recovering it, though, is Connor McDonald. Sending it around. Short looking to forward. That was Oliver Smith. Instead, it'll be Seamus Newcomb getting it out. Ryan Tonkovich grabbing that. Coming around. Oh, gets a little bit turned around there at the red line. And here comes Cazenovia the other way. Jake Paichu. Shot blocked away by the other 11 on the ice. Seamus Newcomb. Back up now for for Cole Frazee, I should say, is sent back up the other way by Jack Schalk. Schalk off the backboard, it'll go. Brian Tonkovich having to chase that. Instead, it's Nico Capriotti grabbing that, sending it out. Oh, and here comes Michael Leduc. He's able to poke it away from Cole Frazee. He does not have enough space to get to the net. Sends it right towards the center. Instead, picking it up is Henry Miller. Oh, he lost that on the transition as Patnode gives him a little shove. Here comes Cazenovia. Long up towards, I believe that was Seamus Newcomb. But the Hornets will possess it. Patnode across towards the far side. It'll go into the zone, and that will be icing.
So this whole game, I could see it was going into it. It's very fast-paced, Robbie. It's very back and forth. Some in the Hornets, obviously it's been in the Cazenovia end a bit more to start the third period with 3.5 minutes under our belt in this third. But the Hornets really got to establish their offense and stay solid on defense if they want to win this game.
Full offensive and defensive clinic here is what has to be put on by the Hornets if they want to be the victors of this one, especially with shots like that from Jack Casey. Thankfully, Sean LaMarche is able to come up with that one. But that one will go to his left side and another defensive end face-off for the Hornets here.
And same goes for Cazenovia. They could obviously start playing a solid offense and put on a clinic on defense too if they can win a game. It's really anyone's game right now, Robbie.
Absolutely, as this will be the last regulation period of the year for one of these teams as Drew Main coming around leaves it for Jack Casey though. Casey reversing it back the other way. Here comes Kaz. Slapped away anyway by Brian Tonkovich as Joey DiNatale was offsides when we'll have a neutral zone face-off.
Get some AC/DC in here, pump up the crowd. The Hornets definitely have the crowd behind them on this, with the student section being right on their defensive side. Cazenovia, good showing as well behind those boards, but it's got to stay loud here.
Well, if you think about it, for many years, this would be more of a neutral site than many of the places in Section 3 is for many years. Well, FM really doesn't have a, hometown home ice arena. This has always been their home, but it has never been in their territory. As they send it right back around, as of course they've always been having to share this arena with the CNS North Stars as well. Hopefully one day a program like this will get their own arena somewhere in the town of Manlius. As here comes Miller the other way. Miller, swiped away by Tyler Main. It'll go to the boards for Jack Lalick. Lalick long up towards Will Sanzone though. Lalick up for Tonkovich this time. Tonkovich dumping it in. He gets a hit from Hagen. He'll continue on, but instead it's Jake Heitschuh picking it up. Heitschuh looking over his options, sends it around towards Myers there, but picking it up is Capriati. He sends it below the goal line for Sanzone. Sends it towards the center, but no Hornet is there. Instead, it's Brian Tonkovich putting on a shot. I believe that was off the head of either Sanzone or the man number 4 right there. As a shot comes, rebound, though. They're not able to put it in. But the thing is, Ezra Stahlberg was all the way out of the net there. That was a huge opportunity for them, but they just could not center it. Centering it now, though, Ezra Stahlberg, gets run over by the goalie, and we've got a fight now. Hands are being thrown. As who's at the bottom of that on the far side? I believe that is Will Sanzone. I was at the bottom of that, obviously flying over Ezra Stahlberg. He gives his apologies to the goaltender, but once again, you wonder if any penalties are going to be assessed for a scuffle like that. As both of these teams for a long time have had a very cold rivalry. It's not necessarily a hot rivalry, something like the Route 20 rivalry between Auburn and Skinny Atlas, or even something like Beeville and West Jenny, but nonetheless, this has always been that sort of cold rivalry, the two teams on the east side.
Number 4, Finn Hagen, and number 5, Nico Capriati, I believe.
Yeah, that would be either that or Henry Miller, I believe. Yep, that is the 14 that I see. Henry Miller. They'll go to the box as well as Nico Capriati. So, coincidental penalties between these two teams. We will play on. Winning that forward is Dylan George. Here he comes up the far boards. Tyler Main not able to stop him. George below the goal line. Sends it around past Joey DiNatale. Sending it right in on Sean LaMarche with Smith. And LaMarche will take that easily and cover that one up.
Are they 10-minute penalties then? Misconducts, or? Because there's 5 men on the ice for both teams.
Well, there's no time put on the board anyway, so possibly a 5-minute major game misconduct for either. Well, no, because that would have sent them just straight off the ice, and that would have somebody else to serve the penalties. As here comes Grayson Mucha, 2-on-1 the other way. Mucha across. Michael Leduc couldn't grab it in time. Leduc, though, coming around is Mucha.
Oh, he's hurt again.
Yeah,
He was hurt earlier this
thankfully.
season.
Ooh, yeah. I thought he was about to get up there, unfortunately, but he's, doubled over below the goal line.
His hands.
Yeah, his hand free of his glove down there.
I believe it was the Skinny Atlas game. He got a concussion. He got injured
Yes.
in the Skinny Atlas game.
Thankfully, only a small breather he had to spend on the ice, but
Yeah.
Grayson Mucha will get back up on his feet and return to the bench on his own legs under his own steam. Well,
Still
10,
2-2.
yeah, still 2-2, 10:39 left to go in the third period. As if this doesn't get solved in this third period, we will do the NHL playoff sort of format with 20-minute overtime periods until we have a winner. Face off right in the neutral zone across from the Cazenovia bench. Drew Main the one to take this across from Seamus Newcomb, but it's Main winning it back. Henry Dougherty on those boards. Cazenovia trying to forward it up, but instead it's Drew Main who gets it around there, but Cazenovia able to send it right back in. Tyler Main back to Brian Tonkovich. Long up instead for Jack Lawlick. It hops over his stick though. Cazenovia going the other way. Tyler Main for Tonkovich again. Tonkovich tried Henry Dougherty this time. It will go all the way, but no icing will be called. Lawlick, though, right in front. Oh, he's not able to get the shot off. Here comes Kaz the other way. Jake Haikshu into the zone. Sent across. Save made by Sean LaMarche with the stick.
Exactly 7 minutes into this third period, and it's still very high-paced, fast high school hockey going both ways. I just leave it at that.
This is what sectionals is all about, my friend. The highest level of hockey you've seen all year, because it is the highest stakes that you have seen all year.
Absolutely.
Behind the net it goes. Frazee. Turned away by Tyler Main. Now it's sand zone for McDonald for Sergeev. Dmitry Sergeev in the zone. Lifted stick. Shot off though. Got it right towards the center. Shot again! Ezra Stahlberg comes up with it.
Wow. A good goalkeeping there.
And a big opportunity for Connor McDonald again right in front. And kudos as well to Dmitry Sergeev for staying with that puck all the way into the zone. And he was able to center that right towards Connor McDonald. But of course, Ezra Stahlberg standing tall and getting right in front of that puck, denying it any chance of finding Twine. Face off to his left. One to the side by the Hornets, but they will get it over to the near side this time. Noah Chen trying to grab it. Instead, it's Kevin Patno looking to put a shot off. Leduc back towards Chen. Instead, it's Patno. Shot goes wide off the backboard. It'll pop all the way out to Jack Schalk. He'll try to keep it in, but not on this occasion. Sending it back in as Leduc. Get in that. Cole Frazee over to the far side for Noah Chen now. He takes it into the zone. Chen along those far boards. Gets it towards Dmitry Sergeev. He's got to fight through that, though. Cole Frazee reversing it. Back the other way. For Gina Tolley as it goes right towards the center. Back again for Will Leinbach, and out of the zone it'll go. The other 22, though, Patno sending it back in. Jack Lawlett protecting that along the boards as his team comes in to help. Drew Main trying to circle it back. Instead, it's Cole Frazee who puts him down.
No penalties.
Brian Tonkovich sending it back down the other way. That'll be no icing, as I believe that went off the stick of Tucker Ives and back into the zone. Cazenovia up for Leinbach. Leinbach long over to the near side. Brian Tonkovich looking to reverse that. Grabs that in open ice and sends it back into the neutral zone. Jack Casey sends it around. Tonkovich again, now below the goal line. Tonkovich off the glass. Not quite out of the zone. Kept in by, that's Jack Frazee. Sent around in the far corner for Tyler Main this time. He's got some space. He'll work with it. Sends his chip. Gets it around Newcomb and dumps it in. He will go for a change. His brother and Jack Lawlett will go for a change. He'll stay on as it goes back for Brian Tonkovich again. Tonkovich, getting knocked down there by Haichu. Thankfully, the other 11 is there, that being Will Sanzone, try and get it out of the zone here. But Seamus Newcomb will keep it in. Connor McDonald long up towards Michael Leduc there. But it goes a little bit too far. That will be icing.
Okay, so almost 10 minutes have been played. No goals, also no awarded penalties in the third, not to jinx anything. It's been rather clean, and it's just going to be just a battle between both teams. Who wants it more? Who has more aggressiveness? Who's got it at heart? Who wants this game?
As I believe, speaking of those penalties as well, I believe Nico Capriati has been released from the box, so possibly only 2-minute coincidentals as here comes Cazenovia swiping it away. Though is Brian Tokovich, a quick shot off his foot. Newcomb, now for Tyler Main. Oh, off of Newcomb's foot, he grabs it, puts a shot on, gloved away, but he can't catch it. Still there though. Capriati picks it up. Here comes Nico Capriati up the near side. Not enough speed though, he'll hand it to Connor McDonald in the zone. Drops it for Capriati, stays with it, shot, save made, rebound, it'll be covered.
Wow. I did forget about those penalties, you're right though. Coincidental twos.
Well, sometimes it does sort of come out of your mind, especially when they are coincidentals like that and there's no time on the board, no men taking off the ice. Things like that do happen, and of course maybe even coaches will forget that a man of theirs is into the box, but nonetheless, Nico Capriati making efforts as soon as he is released. It'll go all the way into the Cazenovia end. Face off to the right of Ezra Stahlberg.
Coach Wisnowski poised over there on the bench,
Absolutely.
staring at his players.
Michael Leduc comes around below the goal line. Leduc tried to center it there, blocked away though by Oliver Smith. Up the boards they'll go. Seamus Newcomb gets it out. Noah Chen though, like a shortstop, able to grab it with his glove. And he's able to kick it in the zone after all his teammates have come out, though. Still a little away, though. Henry Miller coming up the near side. Miller, his jersey flapping in the wind there as Gavin Patton's able to get it away from him. And back into the Cazenovia end. Cazenovia, though, sending it all the way back down the river here. Jack Schalt looking over his options, hands it to Henry Dougherty. Dougherty back across off the stick there. That was waiting a little bit of a... Maybe using it as one of those passing machines that bounces it back to you, but off the angle anyway, it'll work. But got it momentarily in the Cazenovia end. Don't think he'll be able to do that a second time now. Coming back in, Henry Dougherty. Trying to operate it, send it towards the center, but it's blocked off the foot. I believe that was Jack Frazee again. Lalick now over Drew Main. It goes wide. Lalick circling back. Sends it back into the near corner, this time for Henry Dougherty. Up for Brian Tokovich. Shot! Goes wide of the net. Long over there for Dylan George. George will wait. Keeping it in, though, is Dougherty. Only a little bit momentarily there as grabbing that is Henry Frazee, sending it all the way down.
Nice.
That will be icing with 5:37 left to go in this third period. Sean LaMarche echoing the thing that Chris Finger, of course, used to do, hucking it all the way down the other way for the other ref. As boy, oh boy, we have increased the speed here. Brian Tokovich sending a shot. It's off the Cazenovia defender's skate there as Drew Main coming around. Main putting on a couple moves. He's able to just shoulder fake the man behind him, but he's not able to get it on net. He's getting it back out of the zone are the Cazenovia Lakers. Long across. Henry Dougherty tried to intercept that. Jack Casey still operating it though. Casey looking over his options, sends it back up the boards for Jake Heichu. Heichu not able to get it is Drew Main as here comes Cazenovia again. Henry Miller, shot off of the leg there of Brian Tokovich. Tokovich gives him a pin. Oh, off the weird bounce off the boards. It'll go out of the zone after the Hornets are thankfully able to get it towards that blue line. Cazenovia not able to keep it in. Here comes Jack Casey though, up for Heichu. Drops it for Casey. Casey, shot off the shoulder of Brian Tokovich, and he was forced to the ground there for a moment, and I think he's going to want a change of lines there as he gets over to Nico Capriati on the near side. Capriati, oh, Brian Tokovich just looking like he's hurting there.
Right hand there. Yeah.
Yeah.
He took that glove off quick after that play stop. He keeps shaking that right hand, and he's going to want to change. It looks like it's going to be number 17 for the Hornets, Jack Shaw coming on.
Oh, and
maybe
Brian
not.
Tokovich will play on.
Maine
Instead
will come
of
off.
Tyler Maine will come off. Brian Tonkovich, the soldier on this ice.
The Hornets offense has been working recently, though.
Absolutely. They've been getting a lot more quality chances, but unfortunately they have not been able to equal the amount of shots that the Cazenovia Lakers have put on. Speaking of the Lakers, here they come. Finn Hagen sending it across. It's off the leg of Jack Chalk. He'll send it up those far boards, but it gets redirected in by Kaz. Around the near side now. Finn Hagen trying to work it near the blue line. Keeping it in with a shot. There was, I believe that was Henry Frazee. Was back below the goal line, and coming out with it is Jack Chalk. Backhanded out. Up to Nico Capriati. Oh, he lost it as he just deflected it off of his stick, and it'll go back into the Hornets' end. Tonkovich has to be careful with it because he's got Tucker Ives on him. Nico Capriati tried to give it up for Will Sanzone there, but instead it's Myers coming in. Myers backhanding it. Brian Tonkovich picking it back up for the Lakers. Ooh, Joey DiNatale there having to pin him. As the out come the Hornets. Connor McDonald over for Nico Capriati. McDonald, oh, he can't get it. Instead, it's DiNatale coming the other way. Grabbing that. Coming in is Patnode. Shot! Blocked away by Metro Stahlberg again. As Sanzone now working it below the goal line with two Cazenovia Lakers either side of him. He's thankfully able to get it out. Jack shot it. Gets blocked away by Stahlberg. Dmitry Sergeev sending it right in. Oh, and Nico Capriati couldn't get the shot off there. And many people in the crowd are asking for a penalty there. And I don't blame them. Here comes Kaz. Coming around the other way. Jack Chalk able to steal it. Here comes FM the other way instead. FM dumping it in courtesy of Chalk. Below the goal line it'll go. Kaz able to get it out off these near boards. All the way down the river it'll go. It won't be an icing though. Jake Heitschu and Tyler Maine having to fight for it. Heitschu comes out with it. Newcomb in to help. And so does Henry Miller. Newcomb around. Seamus Newcomb. Around, shot off the side there. And grabbing it is Michael Leduc, sending it out of the zone.
2 minutes.
2 minutes and counting now. Tyler Maine setting it up for Dmitry Sergeev in the neutral zone. Into the Kazan now. Oh, that's an offsides. Michael Leduc a half step in front of Dmitry Sergeev.
154 tie game, sectional playoffs. What's going through these players' head?
This is what it's all about, my friends. Is
here comes Patnode.
Of course, yeah, Patnode facing a little bit of pain there.
Might have to go to
He'll
the
come over to the near side. And he won't go up to the Hornets locker room up here on the second level, but he'll instead go down through the player tunnel that connects the two rinks just below us here as Henry Dougherty now right towards the front. Ezra Stahlberg just redirected that with his stick right in front of him. That would have been a golden opportunity had a Hornet been there. But here comes Jack Lalick the other way. Lalick over the blue line, tried to get it around Jack Casey, but instead it's Drew Maine, I should say. Jack Lalick trying to get it away from Jack Casey. Keeping it in though is Tyler Maine with a shot. It goes over to the near side. Grabbing it is, I believe that is, number 4, Finn Hagen. As he gets it back, dumps it back in.
Minute 10 here, Tonkovich.
Tonkovich, long up instead for Jack Lalick. Lalick coming all the way around. Lalick for Tyler Maine. Shot just wide of the net. Tonkovich coming around. Getting it back around the net of Stahlberg again. Long around all the way down the river. And that will be icing as Kevin Patnode right behind us here up in the connecting walkway between the two arenas here. Hope he's all right. He's facing a little bit of pain, but nonetheless, we will play on. 42.7 seconds left to go in the period. That's coming back right in, and it goes as it goes into the corner. Kaz picking it up, long all the way towards DiNatale there, but that's an high sticking on Connor McDonald. As nonetheless, even though it didn't go, it'll go all the way into the Hornets' end for the face-off.
Tonkovich still messing with his hand. He keeps rolling his wrist.
Well, if you gotta sort of work it out like that, then so be it. Whatever works. A shot, save, made, rebound, coming. On the bars, the biggest save he's made all game. Oh boy.
Oh, we got a player down on the ice now for the Hornets. Once again, Tonkovic.
Yeah, Tonkovic. He's been out there for, gosh, I'd say even like 66% to 75% of this game. He's been almost the backbone of the FM Hornets defense here.
When is he not?
Yeah, absolutely. Along with Tyler Main on the far side, his partner in crime here. Tying that up right into the referee's legs on the Hornets as Gavin Patnow gets tended to behind us by the medical professionals. As again, Nico Capriati right in front. He gets the clean shot, but it's redirected into the netting.
Man, Capriati's shot just deflected just upstairs and into the net. And now 13.3 seconds. We're in the Lakers' end. 2-2 sectionals.
Well, this is a net positive for the Hornets here. Face off to the right of Stahlberg. Capriati winning it back. Tonkovic, shot just wide. Off the backboards it'll go. Jack Casey setting it up the near boards. 5 seconds left. Here comes Jake Heitchu. One last shot. Goes wide. We're going to overtime.
Wow. Wow. No goals in the third period. A defensive stretch, a defensive battle. Hornets able to even out those shots. We were 3-13 in the first, and now it's 19-25, Robbie.
And as a result of, I believe, because Cazenovia was just about to get off the ice here, because it's a full 20 minutes of overtime periods here, or I believe full 17 minutes because obviously it's...
They're telling him not to get off the ice. They're saying no.
Are they? I guess the question is, will they or won't they? Will they get off the ice for an ice cut? Or are we going to play with the rather chipped up ice that we have right here in front of us?
I was looking at the Zamboni driver, and they were saying, no, we are not doing the ice. You think they would pull him off the ice?
Absolutely. Well, I guess not, but nonetheless, overtime awaits. Period number 4. And yes, it is a full period, as I distinctly remember from last year when this same first round went to overtime. Just about a year ago, I was standing just about right here when it was that Beeville tied it with 10 seconds left to go. We went to that full extent of overtime, but, well, it will be again. And what a game it has been. Let's reflect on what's been put in front of us so far in this game. In the first about 2 minutes of the game, Cazenovia scores their first goal off of a penalty rendered. I believe that was by one of the defenders on a breakaway, but obviously it resulted in a goal nonetheless. But
Getting some levels going here.
We got some nice Avicii rocking through the halls of the MACC here. And again, the Hornets were able to equal that score later in the period thanks to Nico Capriati. And then early in the second period, it's Will Sanzone that gives the Hornets their first and only so far lead of this game. But again, late in the second period, Cazenovia able to even the score.
Henry Miller
all alone. Going the other way after, of course, Connor McDonald had it a breakaway. Did not do much with it. Ezra Stahlberg stoned him. But instead it'll go the other way. Yeah.
And we're going to take a quick break here before they come back on the ice.
We'll take a little break. Don't worry. We will be back.
Just a minute.
For overtime here on the Hornets Hockey Network. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, after our short break there for, unfortunately, copyright reasons, because YouTube is, well, it's, for those of you who don't know, YouTube is not exactly the most kind player when it comes to detecting music in its streams. But nonetheless, overtime is here. We will get going the other way as only 7:30 has been put on the board for this overtime period, which is
Bit strange.
very strange to me, as I believe it was a full 17 the last time. Since regulations have changed, I unfortunately have not been informed. But nonetheless, we will play on here at the MACC. Getting back, his height shoe shot goes wide. Around it goes into the hands of Cole Frazee this time. Finn Hagen on the near side. Finn Hagen up past Newcomb. He will dump it in. Seamus Newcomb getting that to Brian Tonkovich. Tonkovich around. Over to the far side. Coming around Cazenovia again. Henry Miller. Jersey flapping in the wind. Shot! Gets blocked away. I believe that was Tonkovich again. Hagen now. A shot goes wide off the back of the net.
It's still in
Will
the
they
back.
call it? Seamus Newcomb able to get it free. He just comes Jack Lalick. Lalick through the neutral zone. Gets it up towards Henry Dougherty there, but here comes Jake Heichu in the zone. Shot goes wide. Around it goes again. Drew Main trying to get it into the Kaz end here. He does, but it's Kaz who controls. Off of Drew Main's body, though, he's able to keep it in the zone. Henry Dougherty instead will go for a change. Oh, and Drew Main absolutely blastering number 4, Finn Hagen. My goodness. Here comes Heichu. Shot goes off of the stick of Brian Tonkovich, the soldier on this ice. Into open ice. Heichu gets a shot right in on Sean LaMarche. It's still there, though, as I believe that was Joey Ginatali's body that was able to keep it in. Jack Casey sending it right back in. Heichu took a swing at it and missed. Grabbing that. Brian Tonkovich, or Tyler Main, I should say. Sending it to Oliver Smith. Main gets it back. Tyler Main off the near boards. It'll go back into the Cazenovia end. They will wave off icing as Jack Casey grabs that. Sends it long around the other way. Brian Tonkovich over for Tyler Main. Now for Jack Casey intercepting. Casey in the zone. Gets sandwiched between two Hornets. Coming around. Shot. Save made. Sean LaMarche. He will cover with 5:02 left to go in this period here.
Pressure on Sean LaMarche. It's been mostly on his side for the 2.5 minutes. 5 more minutes, sudden death, correct?
Well, I mean, it is, yes, of course, it is sudden death for this period, but they still go to another overtime period, or if they will go to a shootout, I am not quite sure because, well, this is sectionals, it is playoffs, it is playoff format. As Nico Capriotti coming right in, he tries, well, to alleviate our wonders anyway. Yeah. As Henry Dougherty now trying to operate it below the goal line. Gets it around Miller. Gets it right towards Drew Main. They're not able to get the shot off. Grabbing that, Seamus Newcomb, who I mentioned in that game that I explained earlier between the Syracuse Nats and the Utica Junior Comets. He was one of the starters for the Utica Junior Comets as it comes back towards Nico Capriotti. He swung at it. Here comes Seamus Newcomb, the man that I mentioned. Here he comes into the zone. Shot, save made, rebounds there. It's right in front of LaMarche. He puts it on. It goes into the protective netting.
Shot again, just upstairs from LaMarche. More pressure on LaMarche, my heart. And all the Hornets fans joining.
I think every single Hornets fan's heart just sank there, as it was right in front of Sean LaMarche's dropped down pads, but he could not cover. Thankfully, for his case anyway, it goes up into the netting instead of into the back of the net.
Wow, this is aggressive hockey. Hornets had a couple chances here as well.
Face off won by the Hornets. They'll get it up the ice here, sent right towards the center.
Tonkovich.
Instead of it's Connor McDonald. Tonkovich able to get it out. Sent right back in on Sean LaMarche. Grabbing that, Tyler Main. Off the boards, it'll go all the way down the river. And that will be icing. Ezra Stahlberg is sending it all the way back down the ice, though.
Just under 4 minutes in this overtime period, and both goalkeepers have to stay on their feet. They have to stay ready to block any shots that come from wherever point on the ice.
And right now, it's Sean LaMarche on the other side. On his toes the most. Face off to his right. In the Hornets' end, Drew Main and Henry Frazee. Or Henry Frazee and Henry Dougherty now. Take another quick shot, gloved up by Sean LaMarche as a quick stick came right into his helmet, I believe, from one of the Lakers right in front of him. As again, boy, oh boy.
Tension's rising.
Tensions indeed, as they have been all game. We saw that fight after the one save made by Ezra Stahlberg on the other side here. Nonetheless, winning that back are the Hornets. Tyler Main off the near boards, getting it back the other way. Out of the zone it'll go. Dylan George sending it right back in. Tyler Main below the goal line. Main long all the way towards Jack Lalick. It goes past him. That's an icing.
Unfortunate. If he got that stick on that puck, could have been a good opportunity for the Hornets.
Oh, absolutely. 3:36 is all that remains in this overtime period. 2-2. Knotted. Face off to the right of LaMarche. Seamus Newcomb and the Will Sanzone will tie it up here. Trying to get their sticks on that of the three Hornets swerving around, and they do. Here comes Will Sanzone. Sanzone in the zone, stolen away though by Henry Miller. Miller long up this time for Newcomb. Newcomb towards the center for height shoot. Oh, and it's Sean LaMarche who comes up with it.
Wow. Sean LaMarche having a phenomenal overtime period. He's done good all game and all season. He's trying to preserve this season, and keep their FM Hornets going. Him and Tonkovic, defensive players, doing great. And obviously he's the goalkeeper, but Tonkovic has also been helping.
Absolutely, it's great goaltending always leads to great things. As here comes Jack Lalick, shot wide of the net. Henry Dougherty will go to the corner for it. Hands it right into the hands of Cole Frazee though. Lalick though will try to recover. Frazee though sending it up the boards. Newcomb now chipping it out. Tonkovic sending it back in. The Hornets will regroup and go right back in as they will rule that icing by the referee.
Tonkovic not happy about that one, and I do not blame him at all, Robbie.
The referee was the one who called icing.
Well,
wow, as that's usually in games like this, that's usually the linesman's job. Nonetheless, it'll be an icing going all the way back into the Hornets end. Drew Main getting that to Brian Tonkovic. He gets it up to Henry Dougherty. Dougherty across this time for Tyler Main. Now up for Jack Lalick in the zone. Lalick across, stays with it, shot just wide. Jack Casey grabbing it, up the boards, off the glass. Tyler Main trying to keep it in. It'll go out. Here comes Kaz. Shot
right.
Goes wide. That was from Will Leinbach. Trying to get it out here are the Hornets. Tyler Main in the near corner. Up the boards it'll go. Long pass all the way over for Henry Dougherty. Tried to make a move around DiNatale there. Able to keep it in though is Jack Lalick. Sends it over towards Drew Main. Tries to keep it in his hand, but instead it's Joey DiNatale coming out with it. Up to Jack Casey. Casey, a shot goes off the stick of Brian Tonkovic into the netting.
Just over 2 minutes, and we are very back and forth. This is still fast paced. These players must be very tired. This is 24 minutes of consecutive hockey with a 3-minute break in between the 17 minutes because they didn't re-polish the ice. But this is playoffs, and this is high-stakes hockey that we're seeing right now.
Face off, one back. A shot comes from Kaz. It'll go wide of the net. Keeping it in, though, is Finn Hagen. Around for Tonkovic again. He tried to send it around, but instead Kaz will keep it below the goal line. Here comes Jake Heitchu. Heitchu around. Below the goal line, it'll go again. Finn Hagen having to pinch. Hagen operating it around the hash marks. Out of the zone, it'll go. Hopping over the stick instead of Seamus Newcomb. Newcomb across to Cole Frazee. Frazee up the far boards. Into the Hornets' end. Shot right into the skates of Brian Tonkovic. He'll try to get it out. Up the boards it'll go. Long up for Brian Tonkovich again. He dove to stop the pass, and he does. Height shoe right into the hands of Connor McDonald. He'll lug it out himself. Up the near boards. He's got Will Sanzone there. Oh, he tried to hand it to him, but it just goes under Sanzone's stick.
1 minute.
Nuko right into the hands of Capriati. Capriati coming across. Instead, it's Frazee. Frazee up for Henry Miller. Instead, it's Tonkovich over for Tyler Main. Main sending it in. Below the goal line. 50 seconds remain. Finn Hagen up the far boards. Henry Dougherty coming in. Gets it below the goal line. Nico Capriati now. Capriati finding an outlet in Brian Tonkovich. He shot it, but it's right in on Seamus Newcomb. Grabbing that. Will Sanzone right in front. No shot will come. Henry Miller able to get it towards the far boards. Here comes Seamus Newcomb. Into the Hornets end. 23 seconds left. Below the goal line it'll go. Jake Heitshoe now with it. Heitshoe for Cole Frazee. Shot goes wide. Newcomb again. Newcomb to the center. The rebound's still there. It's under a player right to the side of Sean LaMarche. LaMarche doesn't have it. Instead, it's whistled down with 5.2 seconds to go.
Players down on the ice for FM, and the Lakers, and wow, just stuck right next to LaMarche. LaMarche keeping it out. Good defensive battles. Tonkovich, Main, just, whoa, what a game.
You said it, Mike. This is one of the most hotly contested games I've seen all year in my games of, well, high school hockey, but also Oxford college hockey, NCAA D3 hockey. Of course, both of those for the Oswego State Lakers, which is why I'm having such a problem with the green jerseys tonight, as usually green means Laker instead of blue. But nonetheless, the Hornets will go to the left of Sean LaMarche. 5.2 seconds left. It'll go to the corner. Brian Tonkovich sending it all the way down. And that will do it for the overtime period.
Pat note, he came back into the bench and I believe maybe even got on the ice, but he's just came off the ice from the door and he's back with the training staff. So we'll have to see an update on him. We also have to see what's going to happen too.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm wondering about here, because
101.
well, in all my years of doing high school hockey, we have never been in this position. Last year, it was the Beeville Bees who struck within, I believe, the first 4 minutes of that overtime period. Of course, we've played more overtime than that in this contest, but we wonder now what exactly is going to happen as the referee's going over to the Hornets bench to explain how we will proceed.
Robbie, for the first time in 4 years, we've broken 100.
We have broken 100 in terms of viewership.
Yeah.
Well, for all of you viewers who don't usually come on, my name is Rob Finger alongside Michael Haungs, and we've been doing Hornets hockey for about the past 5 years, myself at least. As Michael Haungs, this is your first season with the Hornets, as we'll go to a little break here, obviously because of the copyrighted music. YouTube isn't the greatest to us, but nonetheless, we'll be back with whatever's come to happen here on the Hornets Hockey Network. Ice. Welcome back, everyone, to the Hornets Hockey Network. My name is Rob Finger, alongside Michael Haungs, and we're here, and I think, anyway, by the fact that Cazenovia has put another 5 onto their ice here, that we're going to do another overtime period here.
They're setting the time right
Second
now.
overtime period. How long will this one be? Will it be another minute, 7.5 minutes? Possibly. Nonetheless, we will go to the same sides as we were again. 9:30 now.
Oh, because, yeah, the 17. So I think they made a pause. Oh, Patno looks like he's coming off the ice now, but I think they did the pause just because they didn't re-clean over the ice, and so they want to give the players a break, so they split up the timing to 7:30 and 9:30. Not sure why they did, 8 and 8:30 or 8:30, whatever, but...
Well, that's up to either the governing body, probably the NYS PHA, either that or the referee's discretion on how we are going to do this, but it'll be double overtime right here at the MACC between the Cazenovia Lakers and the FM Hornets. Around the boards it comes, keeping it in is Connor McDonald. Below the goal line it goes. Oliver Smith right in for Will Sanzone. Back across for Nico Capriati. Capriati taking it across. Oh, he lost it to Newcomb. Sending it back in, though, is Brian Tonkovich. Hornets will regroup.
A notable thing, they're on the same sides. They didn't switch sides.
Oliver Smith all the way up for Haichu. Haichu, a man who was doing a lot of rushing into the zone in the last overtime period. Sending it back, though, in is Oliver Smith. Up the boards, now for Seamus Newcomb. Oh, he tried to rip one, but unfortunately, he just whiffed right on that. Oliver Smith picking it up in the Kazan. Smith for Jack Casey. Casey for Newcomb. Seamus Newcomb up the boards. Into the zone for Jake Haichu. Shot! Gloved up by Sean LaMarche. With 8:29 left to go in this second overtime period.
This period, we've only seen a minute of it, but it looks the same as everything else. This Patno behind us is getting some more medical work. He's laying down there on the floor. It's tough to see.
Well, he's played hard all game and all season, as well as Tyler Main looking to extend that season for him. Hagen sending it right up for, I believe that was number 12, Dylan George, but nonetheless, it'll be sent right in on Sean LaMarche, and he will cover that one up. So 8:19 still left to go in double overtime here at the MACC. Something that, well, I've never come across. Never in my broadcasting career have I done a double overtime game.
No,
it's the first day.
It's short periods, but yeah.
First day for everything, but we'll call it double overtime because that little break felt like a overtime break anyway. As winning that back are the Hornets. Sending it around for Henry Dougherty. He looks up, finds Drew Main. Unfortunately, however, that'll be over for Jack Lalick, dumping it in. Around for Frazee. Frazee getting it right into the hands of Drew Main. Oh, he got bowled over a little bit, blew a tire as he was going past the red line. They'll keep it in the corner, though. Henry Dougherty trying to operate it. Drew Main, though, still with it. Main handing it to Henry Dougherty. Under pressure, though, from Frazee. Dougherty right in on Stahlberg. He's not able to get a shot off. Drew Main with it himself. He's got some space. Backhands it right into the glove of Ezra Stahlberg.
Wow.
7:36 remaining in double overtime.
Stepping up to Boston on the speakers blaring here at the MACC, and we still have a good amount of fans.
Oh, absolutely. Well, of course. Who would want to leave in a game like this? You've got an entire student section standing on the glass in front of you here. Who would want to leave in a game of double overtime? Brian Tonkovich, a shot blocked away by Haichu. Shot again. Still, Stahlberg stops it. It's still there, though. It's loose. Capriati's got it. Over the corner. Capriati across from Brian Tonkovich. Walks. Oh, wide of the net. Nico Capriati back over to Brian Tonkovich. Walks it again. Oh, a shot over the net again. Tyler Main. Over, up the boards. Here comes Jake Haichu. In on Brian Tonkovich, 2-on-1 save, made rebound, it goes wide! Over to the far corner. Up the boards, out of the zone it goes. Nico Capriati trying to wrangle it, and he does.
Oh,
Gets it just in the zone, but only momentarily. It'll go back into the neutral zone. Connor McDonald on his skate. Now up for Miller. Here comes Henry Miller into the zone. Shot blocked away by Brian Tonkovich. Into the corner it goes. Seamus Newcomb. Now back up for Miller. Now for Haichu. Haichu, big hit there from Brian Tonkovich. Doesn't knock him off the puck though. Jack Casey now. Casey on the boards. Board battle here with Newcomb. We've got a whistle here for a hand pass, and I believe that one will be on Kaz.
Wow. Just back and forth. Hornets, 3 chances there on the net, and both defenses are putting their body on the line and laying down in front of their goal to prevent any pucks from getting in. It looks impossible to get a goal right now, Robbie.
The student section in front of us making noise. 6:25 remains in double overtime as, well, it was Will Leinbach there who jumped the gun a little bit, but nonetheless, the Hornets will win that faceoff. Drew Main looking for an outlet. Vinny DiNatale, though, giving him the business. In the corner it goes. Low, still on the sticker in the vicinity of Drew Main, as now it's Henry Dougherty. Dougherty looking for an outlet. He circles around himself. Comes back around, still with it. A shot on Stallberg gets saved. Dougherty swiping it away. Up the boards it'll go. Kept in, though, by Jack Schalk. And a quick shot goes wide. Nick Sergeev able to keep it in. Below the goal line. Set right up for Lalick. Lalick, though, only able to grab it on his skate. Lalick, shot! Goes up into the netting. Oh, that's where Stallberg had to take cover a little bit as it came right back toward his head. Only missed him by about a foot. 5:40 remains in double overtime.
We're witnessing one of the greatest high school hockey games right now. Just tensions are high, big student sections. This is great. New York State Section 3 hockey.
Face off won by Kaz. Here they come. Jack Casey in the zone. Winds up, shot into the netting again. Not a single shot can actually hit the net in these overtimes.
Hitting the wrong net, Robbie.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Wrong fiction wire.
5:31 left to go in double overtime. And now a face-off on the other end with Sean LaMarche to his left.
The Hornets had momentum, and now the Lakers are in the Hornets' ends, and they just had a good chance there. So it's really just back and forth. Anyone's game still.
They tied earlier this year, so neither team has been able to be crowned the victor all year, as Brian Tonkovich single-handedly taking it out of the zone here, but knocked down at the red line. He'll get back up, and he'll get it again. Long over this time for Will Sanzone. Sanzone reverses it for Connor McDonald. Just in the zone, though. Cazenovia sending it back out into the neutral zone. Oh, Brian Tonkovich stopping now. Nico Capriati gets called for offsides as he unfortunately was a little bit too eager, just swiping back before all the rest of his team could swipe back as well.
Ice is pretty choppy. Yeah.
Well, after being played for the third period,
30 minutes.
30 minutes this ice has been played on in this Section 3 ice hockey. And of course, high school hockey is not exactly the kindest to ice like this. Of course, it's nowhere near, collegiate or AHL or NHL hockey, but still, it doesn't exactly treat the ice well.
Yeah.
Choppy ice here as Newcomb wins that one back over towards Jack Casey. The Hornets trying to deny here. Here comes Henry Dougherty. Dougherty across to Seamus Newcomb. Henry Dougherty back below the goal line for Seamus Newcomb. Gets it out. Oh, Tyler Main stopping it momentarily with a glove. The rest of his team's able to come out. Tyler Main driving, trying to do it himself now. Main again wraps it. Oh, trying to get it over to his brother. Backdoor, he couldn't hit his stick. Tonkovich, though, able to secure the back front. As again, Tyler Main able to take it out, but Haichu's just behind him. Brian Tonkovich, long, all the way down the river. That will be icing with 4:17 left to go in double overtime.
Yeah, we're going back down to the Lakers' offensive ends here with their kind of momentum.
Well, one thing that cannot show through here for either of these teams is desperation. Desperation loses you games, especially when the stakes are so high. One back by Cazenovia. It'll go over to the near boards, though, and the Hornets will get it out. Nico Capriati putting on some pressure, though, as Will Sanzone finds it on the near boards. Into the zone, it'll pop, but sending it right back in is Cole Frazee. Now to Joey DiNatale. Over to the far side now for Dylan George. George sending it right in. It's blocked away by Brian Takovich again. Oh, right into the hands of Will Sanzone. He's got some speed. He's got some space. Over the red line, over the blue line, into the zone. Shot just wide of the net. Cole Frazee getting it right back in. And here comes Kaz. Henry Frazee in the zone. Shot redirected up into the netting again. That seems about the umpteenth time that something like that has happened in this game.
Yeah, it's been the game's every period just blends for me. It's been back and forth, tough hockey. These players are tired, and some injuries too. Minor just bruises and stuff, just wearing them down. And with 3.5 minutes in the second period, still 2-2.
Well, for some men like Brian Tonkovich, they just can't seem to quit. Tyler Main up now for Dmitry Sergeev. Along that blue line, Tyler Main, though, will pinch in to help. Up the fireboards this time. Trying to dump it in. It gets right into the skates of Jack Casey. He'll hand it over to Oliver Smith. Smith off the boards. Michael Leduc picking it up. Up under pressure, though, from Jake Heikshoe. He'll hand it right to Tonkovich. Tonkovich long down the other way. That will be icing again.
3 minutes, exactly.
3 minutes remains in double overtime. And we do not have any, neither team necessarily has the edge. As a little bit of biggie now gets played at the MACC.
Robbie, this game it's 9:52 right now. This game has been going on for 2 hours and 15 minutes. Long game.
We'll have to do some research into what the longest Section 3 hockey game in history has been, as I'm sure as when this one goes on and on and on, it more and more becomes a contender.
Yeah.
Face off to the left of Sean LaMarche. One back over to the far side. Brian Tonkovich trying to get it out of the zone. And it goes over for, right towards the center. Tucker Ives tried to grab that, but instead, here comes Brian Tonkovich. Tonkovich, who still just cannot seem to run out of steam, sends it to the center. Oh, and both the Mains are not able to grab that. Instead, it's Leinbach who comes up with it. Tyler Main under pressure from Leinbach. Main, though, trying to forward it up for whatever teammate is there, but none are. Here comes Henry Dougherty in the zone. Dougherty shots. He scores! He scores! Henry Dougherty. Game over.
Number 16. And number 16 on every player's helmet for Greg Manzi, and it's Henry Dougherty who wins the game for the Hornets with only 2:15 and double overtime.
And for the first time in a few years, the FM Hornets will advance to round 2, but now comes their biggest challenge yet. The FM Hornets will be taking on the West Genesee Wildcats at Shobe Park.
7th goal for Dougherty, 14th point, and that gets the Hornets to advance, like you said, over the Shobe Park for the West Genesee Wildcats, the number 1 team.
That one will certainly be a contest, as this double overtime comes to an end. Final score, 3 for the FM Hornets, 2 for the Cazenovia Lakers. What a game that was, and if you just joined us for those overtime periods, what you have seen is one of the most exciting high school games I've ever called, and that includes about 5 years of FM Hornets hockey, and, well, now quite a few games of D3 and Acha Lakers hockey for Oswego State up there, where I currently go to school, but nonetheless, what an exciting game that was. Mike, I think I cannot beat a double overtime thriller like that.
Obviously this is my first year, but I've always been watching FM hockey, and obviously hearing your voice, and it's an honor to be able to do a Section 3 hockey game like this, Robbie.
And high school hockey, as I ever maintain, delivers thrillers like this.
At its peak, and obviously a lot of soccer student section players, Henry Doherty, a star soccer player as well, getting the treatment from the student section as he's congratulated by his fellow classmates. Just
number 16, the hero, here from Cicero, as it's the FM Hornets who will advance to the semifinals of the Section 3 sectional tournament. Boy, oh boy.
what a game.
What a game indeed. And props as well to the Cazenovia Lakers.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness, they were in it the entire time. And it could have just as easily gone to Cazenovia as it could have to these FM Hornets. But these Hornets have been waiting a long time for victory like this.
They're pumped up. Who wouldn't be?
Oh, absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you very much for tuning into our coverage here of FM Hornets hockey right here on the Hornets Hockey Network. And if you want to catch a little bit more of myself, you can always tune in, as this weekend we've got some of the final regular season games for the Oswego State Lakers. I'll be on for men's hockey with the radio station WNYO and their TV station WTOP for women's hockey. It's just as good of hockey up there as it is down here, but I will do my best to make it to Shove Park for the semifinals in what is going to be a thriller. We will try to have that game for you right here on the Hornets Hockey Network. We will travel to the belly of the beast, Shove Park, for the semifinals of the sectional tournament. For Michael Haungs, I've been Rob Finger alongside our videographer Fu-Mei Tung. We say goodnight from the MACC. Hornets win 3-2.